apologies, ladies and gentlemen, for the delay going on air tonight. There were rumours of a military coup in Venezuela, and so we couldn't go on air until that was cleared up. One of our representatives has gone and spoken to a few people sternly, and it's not happening. However, before we go on air this evening, we'd like to announce that the DHRC this evening, this performance, officially comes of age. Tonight's performance of the Amerrycana Christmas is the 21st show that we've performed here in the Eastgate Theatre since Christmas 2010. That's 21 shows in 7 years, and we think that's something to celebrate. So tonight's performance will include a few classic sketches from previous shows, What's New, I hear you say, and some guest appearances, as well as our usual mix of whip-cracking music and razor-sharp original comedy. Thank you.
Succulent chicken breast marinated in chlorine bleach, a currency that's worth less than the Venezuelan bolivar, and a welcome return of the 12-hour working day. That's Thank Goodness We're Leaving Europe, tomorrow evening at 7:45. But now on Radio 4, we cross live to the grand old Eastgate Theatre in the Scottish town of Peebles for a very special edition of the Amerrycana Christmas show, broadcast as always by the downright homespun radio company. While over on Longwave, Melvin Bragg talks endlessly about something.
Hello, reflecting on the literature of his time.
Welcome one and all to the 2017 Amerrycana Christmas, the 21st edition of the DHRC's record-breaking run of shows here at the Grand Old Eastgate Theatre. With whip-cracking music from the DHRC house band and razor-sharp comedy from our Royal Company of Radio Actors, where else would you rather be than right here? Certainly not watching Strictly, I'll tell you that. A big cheer, please, from our theatre audience, and let's get this show on the road. Me again. It's time once again to open the box of Christmas delights that is the downright homespun radio company's Amerrycana Christmas show, broadcasting live from the Grand Old Eastgate Theatre in downtown Peebles. Following last week's hotly anticipated evening street market and Christmas lights switch on Peebles High Street, a unique fusion of an EastEnders car boot sale and Alton Towers, we considered ditching our usual format and just shouting over loud rock music for 3 hours. But we couldn't get the roller coaster in the theatre lift, so we've reverted to the age-old traditional format that has sustained the DHRC for 120 years. First broadcast in 1897, oh yes it was, the Amerrycana Christmas is the official start to the Christmas season here in Peebles, and in places across the world, from Karachi to Buenos Aires, from Scott Base to Vladivostok. On stage tonight is our Royal Company of Radio Actors, standing by to bring your favourite characters to life again. Angus and Gordon have got their usual window seat down there at the Tweedy Tea Room. Bert and Stan are negotiating Dirt Pot Corner in their Scottish Borders Council truck as we speak. And Bobby Barr is on his 4th coffee of the day, while the news team over at the Peebleshire News' new 24-hour digital news channel, PN24, is standing by to bring us all the headlines on the hour. The script for tonight's award-winning DHRC show has been meticulously planned over the last 9 months, with 58 separate sketches containing excruciating detail. But we learned earlier this evening that those 58 sketches don't in fact exist, so we're just throwing it together as we go along, using some copies of the Daily Express and old Jamie Oliver cookbooks. And speaking of just winging it, let's welcome on stage our DHRC house band. Fresh in from a series of high-profile concerts across the American Midwest, they're tuned up and ready to go. Please welcome them on stage with Santa Claus is Coming to Town.
Jimmy, I just just came back from a lovely trip along the Milky Way. Stopped off at the North Pole to spend a holiday. I called on dear old Santa Claus to see what I could see. He took me to his workshop and told his plans to me. Now Santa is a busy man. He has no time to play. He's got millions of stockings to fill on Christmas Day. You'd better write your letter now and mail it right away, because he's getting ready his reindeer and his sleigh.
You better watch out, you better not cry, you better not pout, I'm telling you why. Santa Claus is coming to town, Santa Claus is coming to town, Santa Claus is coming to town. He's making a list, he's checking it twice, he's gonna find out who's naughty and nice. Santa Claus is coming to town, Santa Claus is coming to town, Santa Claus is coming to town. He sees you when you're sleeping, he knows when you're awake, he knows when you've been bad or good, so be good for goodness sake. You better watch out, you better not cry, you better not pout, I'm telling you why. Santa Claus is coming to town, Santa Claus is coming to town, Santa Claus is coming to town. Little town horses, little toy drums, rooty-toot-toot and rummy-tum-tums, curly-haired dolls that cuddle and coo, elephants, boats, and kitty costumes. Santa Claus is coming to town, Santa Claus is coming to town, Santa Claus is coming to town. The kids and girls and boys will have a jubilee. They're gonna build a snowman all around the Christmas tree. You better watch out, you better not cry, you better not pout, I'm telling you why. Santa Claus is coming to town, Santa Claus is coming to town, Santa Claus is coming to town. Claus is coming to town.
Angus! Godwin! Over here, man! Come and have a seat. Have you had some tea?
Not yet. Listen, I've something I want to tell you.
Oh, it's not about Mrs. Tweedy taking croissants and French fries off the menu, is it? It's a protest to Michel Barnier pushing us and punishing us in the Brexit negotiations.
No, it's a wee bit more interesting than that. By the way, have you already had some tea?
Aye, I've had a pot of Mrs. Tweedy's finest, and I've had a nibble at her delicacies. So what's your news?
I've had an invitation.
Oh, aye, well, it's that time of year for holding parties, I suppose.
No, this isn't a party. Well, not as such. It's a sort of gathering. You see, I'm going to be on TV.
What the? When?
Just a couple of weeks' time. It's a special one-off show. It's all dead secret. But I thought I'd tell you. And the wife, of course, and the kids, and a few of the guys doing it to the allotment.
So what's the programme?
It's called I'm a Peeblian, get me out of here!
Keep your voice down, man. We're not supposed to let anybody know.
We're not.
That's right. I've been invited to appear too.
You have.
Aye, I didn't think I'd bother. You know, it's all a bit uncouth and heathen, you know, a wee bit beneath me. Especially when you look at the sort of people that appear on similar shows.
Oh, I thought it was quite a select affair.
Are you kidding? It's full of the worst sort of people.
How do you mean?
Politicians.
But I'm told they're asking all sorts of people from all walks of life.
Ah, well, anyway, I've not decided.
Well, I'm going, and it should be fun.
Well, where's it going to be held?
Gypsy Glen, I think. It's got a bog, trees in a valley, somewhere to shelter. In fact, it's like a Queensland rainforest, without the heat and the mosquitoes, of course.
Gypsy Glen? I'm still not sure. I mean, who else is going to be on the show?
Well, it remains to be seen, but rumour has it there's a roving traffic warden, the owner of the Central Bar, the past owner of the Sweetie Shop, David Mundell, and Shona Haslam.
Politicians, you see, I told you.
And then, of course, they're expecting a few one or two late entries.
What do you mean, like Kezia?
No, she's too busy elsewhere. Oh, come on. What have you got to lose? It should be a lot of fun.
Well, camping out in Gypsy Glen? I haven't done that since I was 15 years old, and that was a long time ago.
Well, I think we should both do it and see who gets voted off first. I've already got my bush hat and my red fleece.
But I hate creepy crawlies.
Ah, come on, this is Peebles and Gypsy Glen we're talking about. They won't have the same creepy crawlies as Queensland. And anyway, the midges are all dead for the season. Let's do it.
Oh, all right. I'll tell them I'll do it. But I'm not putting my hands in any holes full of cockroaches.
Relax, man. It'll be fine. Look, let's have a nice, calm pot of tea and start planning. Gypsy Glen, here we come.
Robert Barr and Steve Lee, ladies and gentlemen, as Angus and Gordon enjoying the traditional service at the Tweedy Tea Room. Fancy cream cakes and bland milky drinks are all very well, but when you need a mug of prescription-strength tea and a no-nonsense sausage roll that stays with you long after fancy tray bakes are forgotten, head over to the Tweedy Tea Room, down there off the high street and overlooking Tweed Green. Mrs. Tweedy has been serving bone-shuddering tea and scones that pass through without a hitch to the people of Peebles since the Boer War. So stop messing about and get along to the Tweedy Tea Room. Exact change is appreciated, and remember that toilets are for paying customers only. One at a time in the cubicles, please, even during busy lunchtimes.
Down at the Tweedy Tea Room, the tinsel Christmas tree is set up once again, over in the corner by the bins. And Mrs. Tweedy's uncompromising Christmas mincemeat tarts are on the menu until Christmas Eve. All in all, it's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. What we need now is some music.
Beginning to look a lot like Christmas everywhere you go. Take a look at the 5 and 10, glistening once again, with candy canes and silver lanes aglow. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas, toys in every store. But the prettiest sight to see is the holly that will be on your own front door. A pair of hop-along boots and a pistol that shoots a West Bonnie and Ben.
Girls that will talk and walk over and walk us to hope for Janice and Jen.
And Mom and Dad can hardly wait for school to start again.
It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas everywhere you go.
There's a tree in the Grand Hotel,
One in the park as well.
the sturdy kind that doesn't mind the snow.
It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. Soon the bells will start,
And the thing will make a ring
is the carol
you sing right within your heart. A pair of Hong boots and a pistol that shoots is the wish
of Bonnie and Ben.
Dolls will talk and we'll go for a walk.
It's the hope for Janice and Ben.
And Mom and Dad could hardly wait for school to start again.
Turns begin to look a lot like Christmas.
Soon the bells will start,
And the thing that will make them ring is the carol that you sing right within
your
heart.
It's beginning to look a lot like the DHRC house band here on the 2017 Amerrycana Christmas.
This next portion of our show is brought to you by the Peebles News.
Yes.
It's journalism, Jim, but not as we know it.
The Peebles News has been the go-to publication for news in Peeblesshire since 1887, a full 10 years before the DHRC started broadcasting. Who can forget the Peebles News headline on the week the Titanic sank in 1912?
Body baby competition. Results on page 5.
Or the outbreak of the Second World War over 2 decades later in September 1939.
Sheep invades neighbour's field in Manor Valley shock.
And in 1963, when US President John F. Kennedy was assassinated by a lone gunman during a visit to Dallas, Texas, the Peebles News was among the first newspapers to go to press.
Dog poo, a disgrace, says local woman.
In more recent times, the Peebles News has been a reassuring weekly presence in an unstable world, keeping us abreast of developments in North Korea, Syria, and the Brexit negotiations. Just this week, the Peebles News has once again brought wise words to heated debate.
Body baby competition. Results on page 5.
So it's no wonder in this age of instant 24-hour news that the Peebles News is once again staying ahead of the pack with the launch this evening of its new 24-hour digital news channel, PN24.
The DHRC has negotiated an exclusive agreement to simultaneously broadcast the launch of the new PN24-hour news channel and the first evening of headlines from this important global news giant.
And I think we can go over now, live, to the PN24 studio, where the very first headlines are about to be broadcast across the world.
Hello? Is this thing on?
Hello? Hello, PN24.
Aye.
Are you on the air yet? Are we about to hear the latest news headlines?
Aye. Just wait a minute. Elspeth, you in the kitchen. Elspeth, where's this week's paper?
What is it, Davy? I'm in the kitchen.
Where's this week's paper?
What?
The paper, the Peebles News.
It's there.
Where is it?
It's there by your elbow.
What? Oh, no, that's last week's. I want this week's.
What's the difference?
I'm doing the headlines. I'm reading the paper.
It's there.
No, the paper, this week's paper, the Peebles.
I don't think we got one. I'm still reading last week's.
Well, how am I going to do the headlines?
What headlines?
It's for the radio. It's for the Peebles News on the radio.
What radio? What are you talking about, Davy?
Didn't mind I'll use last week's. They're all the same anyway.
Just use last week's paper, Davy.
Aye, that's what I said.
They're all the same anyway.
I am doing that. You go back to the kitchen.
I'll be in the kitchen.
Okay, here's the headlines of the Peebles News.
Are you wanting some tea, Davy?
What?
Tea? I'm putting the kettle on. Are you wanting some?
No, I'm doing the headlines. It's for the radio.
Ah, you said. Did you find the paper?
I've got it here. Last week's. Okay, here we go. 53 tickets issued in Peebles. Sheepdog on trial in Manor.
Oh, Davy, wait a minute.
Sweet shop What is it, Elspeth? I'm no wanting tea.
It's in here.
What is
The
it?
paper, this week's paper is in here.
What's it doing in there?
I was using it for the potatoes.
Well, what does it say in the front?
Wait a minute, where's the front page?
You'll need to come through here. There's a microphone.
Here it is, in the front page, you see.
I speak into this thing, the whole world's listening. Read it out.
Aye, okay, here it is, the front page. Bonnie Baby competition. Pictures on page 5.
At Forsyth's, the butchers.
Forsyth's works hard to maintain this 100-year-old tradition where townsfolk stand in line on the street for up to half a day to collect their Forsyth's turkey from a blood-stained table in the Masonic Hall or the rugby club.
Of course, Christmas can also be a stressful and lonely time of year for many. And standing in line for 6 hours does little to help. So this year sees a welcome return of an essential Forsyth's service to customers.
That's right. While standing in line for your Christmas turkey this year, you can once again make use of the Forsyth's in-queue Christmas counselling service.
Trained counsellors dressed in distinctive Forsyth's fluorescent jackets will move up and down the queue, listening to customers' problems, making sympathetic noises, and offering sound, practical advice.
Seasonal loneliness and heartache could be a thing of the past in Peebles. Forsyth's in-queue counsellors are fully trained and experienced professionals who will spend as long as it takes to work through your problems.
So tell me more about that.
I just stare at the wall and imagine it's my Christmas is going to be more like a Sainsbury's advert, but somehow it never is. It's always a disappointment.
Well, it sounds like you're not getting enough iron. Lamb's liver is what you need, and plenty of it.
You really think it'll work?
I know it will. Let me add it to your shopping list right now, and I'll arrange for a 10% discount.
I'm feeling better already. Thank you very much indeed.
It's all part of the service.
Forsyth's in-queue counselling service offers a friendly shoulder to lean on. No problem is too paltry for our trained counsellors. Wait for it. And when giving advice, they don't mince their words.
Every year they come to my house, that sister of mine never offers to cook. I do 3 turkeys, pigs in blankets, mountains of spuds and sprouts, stuffing, the lot, and never a word of thanks. By 3 o'clock they're all asleep in front of the telly, and I'm left with all washing up to do.
I'm sensing a lot of anger here.
Oh, you bet I'm angry. See that sister of mine?
We can sort this out once and for all with a few simple changes.
Really? How are you going to do that?
I'll tell you what I'm going to do. First, we'll add some items to your shopping list. 5 pounds of tripe, a dozen lamb's testicles, and 3 dozen kidneys. Now, that's what you're serving on Christmas Day. Just boil it up in a big pot and serve it with spaghetti. Tell them it's festive meatballs. They'll eat it, but they'll go straight home after, and they won't be back next year.
Oh, that's genius!
Second, we'll move your real Christmas turkey dinner to Boxing Day and make it a real celebration.
Oh, that's amazing! I would never have thought of that on my own. Thank you so much!
Oh, you're very welcome.
Forsyth's in-queue Christmas counselling service, available every day except Wednesday afternoon, right up to midnight on Christmas Eve.
Kathy Kennedy, ladies and gentlemen, joining our Royal Company of Radio Actors on stage this evening.
Also on stage. Also on stage this evening is the DHRC House Band, freshly flown in from the ski resort of Aspen in Colorado. They're bringing in that powdery snow and fresh mountain air with Frosty the Snowman.
Frosty the Snowman was a happy, jolly soul with a corncob pipe
Frosty the Snowman is a fairy tale, they say. He was made of snow, but the children know that he came to life one day.
Must have been some magic in that old silk hat they found. But when they placed it on his head, he began to dance around.
Frosty the Snowman was alive as he could be, and the children say he could laugh and play just the same as you and me.
Frosty the Snowman, Frosty the Led them down the streets of town, right up to the traffic cop. And he only paused a moment when they heard him holler, "Stop!"
Frosty the Snowman had to hurry on his way, and he waved goodbye saying, "Don't you cry, I'll be back again someday."
The snowman, Frosty 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 the snowman.
Choose life. Choose Peebles. Choose fine shoes from Rogerson's and takeaways from Shakira of the Prince of India. Choose appeal to news to keep in touch with the gossip. Choose bakeware from Castle Warehouse and expensive fine wines from Villeneuve just because you can. Choose parking on the double yellow lines outside the Fat Pigs, or the disabled parking day outside of Greg's, or the pavement all the way up the North Gate between the chip shop and the Cross Keys. In fact, anywhere you want because you can't be bothered driving round to a proper car park. And who's going to give you a ticket anyway? Choose a cross Kirk, choose a cross Keys and the Tontine. Choose a Stairway to Heaven and the Hydro Hotel. Choose rugby and netball and the Geigs. Choose Dirtpot Corner. Choose Tweed Green and parking restrictions because it's a Tweed Love Week yet again. Choose the Knee Path Lights and wondering if you should run the red after waiting 20 bloody minutes. Choose the Manor Valley and Glentress Forest. Choose wondering if the Cuddy's flooded again after a night of heavy rain. Choose Tweed Island and wonder if anybody really gives a toss. Choose Beltane and horses and queens and cornets. Choose the High Street and Scott stores and charity shops. Choose Forsyth because we serve the best pies on the planet. Choose the 62 bus and the Christmas lights and torchlight processions. Choose crap broadband. Choose endless coffee mornings and craft fairs at the Borough Hall. Choose Chambers Institution and water fountains that don't work. Choose unbelievably difficult and crushingly stupid car parking charges. Choose Beach's Corner, choose the Eastgate Theatre, choose the DHRC, choose Peebles, choose life.
Choose Life from Steve Lee and the DHRC here on stage at the Grand Old Eastgate Theatre. Coming up later in the show, there's another case for Bobby Barr, private detective.
Bert and Stan from Scottish Borders Council are on their way to Peebles with a truck full of equipment.
And there's music from our award-winning house band. But before all that, it's Miller's time.
Yes, it's Miller's time. Time for festive veterinary gloves.
Lubricant jelly.
16-gauge soft plastic tubing.
Nozzles.
Novels.
Throttles.
Bottles.
Woggles.
Waffles.
Models.
Fossils.
Faucets.
Forceps.
Muzzles.
Bezels.
Chisels.
Bizzles.
Swivels.
Swizzles.
Whistles.
pickles,
easels,
creosote,
undercoat,
overcoat,
petticoats,
oats.
road salt,
Not until Tuesday.
oops, guinea pig straw,
Sycamore trees,
garden furniture,
umbrellas,
heaters,
beaters,
feeders,
weeders,
tweezers,
freezers,
dog biscuits,
blankets,
jumpers,
bathing stones,
headstones,
Christmas wreaths,
plum pudding,
tick treatment,
anal ointment.
and terracotta figurines.
It has to be Miller's. Yes, it has to be Miller's. Up on the hill above South Park Garage. They may call it some other made-up name, but following the local tradition of naming shops and houses by the previous occupants, to us, it'll always be Miller's of Peebles. There's an extensive product range at Miller's that you really couldn't find anywhere else, even under the counter in the private consultation room at the medical hall, with everything you need for insertion, dilation, vibration, and lubrication. There are Christmas gift ideas that would make your most liberal childhood aunties raise their eyebrows. At Miller's of Peebles, and other places as well.
And when you're browsing the shelves at Miller's this Christmas, don't forget to pop a couple of holly wreaths into your trolley. Our house band is here to remind you with a holly jolly Christmas.
Have a holly jolly Christmas. It's the best time of the year. We don't know if there'll be snow, but have a cup of cheer. Have a holly jolly Christmas. And when you walk down the street, say hello to friends you know and everyone you meet. Oh, ho, the mistletoe is somewhere you can see. Somebody waits for you, kissing just for me. Have a holly jolly Christmas. It's the best time of the year. Oh, by golly, have a holly jolly Christmas this year. Oh, how the mistletoe is hung where you can see. Somebody waits for you, kiss it once for me. Have a holly jolly Christmas, and in case you didn't hear, oh, by golly, have a holly jolly Christmas this year.
High above Peebles High Street, in the attic rooms of the old Beaches building, are the offices of Bobby Barr, private detective. Missing wives and wayward husbands, corrupt officials and just plain old dirty dealings, he's seen it all. If you need someone to follow that cab, rifle through that drawer, climb through the window of that empty apartment and dig up the dirt, call into the offices of Bobby Barr. Cash in advance, expenses are extra. Don't call on a Wednesday afternoon if you know what's good for you.
It was another Tuesday morning, and I was my fourth coffee of the day. I'd been to see the new Murder on the Orient Express film, and had been trying to grow a thick, luxurious moustache, but it wasn't going well. My landlady had been on the phone wanting last month's rent, and threatening to cut off the heating if I didn't pay up. It was raining outside. It's always raining these days. I was looking out across the street and wondering if I could make it over to Greg's without getting drenched, when I heard the sound of high heels coming up the stairs and across the landing towards my office door. I stubbed out my cigarette and straightened up some papers on my desk. Come in, the door's open.
Mr. Barr, the private detective?
She was tall, she was blonde, and she wore a red dress that seemed to defy the laws of physics. It hugged every contour so tightly, I was amazed she could breathe. The last time I saw anything wrapped like that was when I ordered a shrink-wrapped salmon from Peebles. But she looked altogether more tasty. She had buttons all the way up and most of the way down. I thought one of them might hit me in the eye when she sat down, but everything seemed to stay in place.
Do you have a light?
She took out a cigarette holder almost as long as my umbrella and held it out. I leaned over and lit up my 1936 silver Zippo. She took a long drag and blew several lazy smoke rings towards the ceiling.
Mr. Barr, I'm told you look into things, even small cases that the police won't bother with.
Well, it's true, things have been a bit slow around here. If there's a case and a fee attached, I usually take the job. What's the problem, Miss?
I should have introduced myself. I'm Carmen Bannister.
Pleased to meet you, Miss Bannister. So, what can I do for you?
My bicycle's been stolen, Mr. Barr.
Your bicycle?
Yes. You see, I do a lot of mountain biking. I've won several awards. I only buy the very, very best equipment. My all-over body suit, Lycra, was tailor-made to reduce friction. It's smooth as silk and fits me like a glove. Anyway, the bike, Mr. Barr?
Ever so sorry, I was momentarily distracted in this Bannister. What were you saying?
The bike was a top-of-the-range machine. I bought it locally, and it's worth a great deal of money.
Lots of bikes are being stolen in Peebles just now, Miss Bannister. To be honest, I think you'd be better spending your money buying a replacement. Not much chance of finding a stolen bike around here.
Well, that's what the police told me, but I thought you were different. You see, this is my third bike to be stolen in the past year, and each from a different place. I think I'm being targeted, Mr. Barr.
Your third bike in a year? That is unlucky. And maybe you are being targeted. Look, Miss Bannister, I can't promise anything, but I'll look into it.
Thank you, Mr. Barr. You don't know what this means to me.
It's cash up front and expenses are extra, Miss Bannister.
Of course.
She slowly loosened the top button of her dress and slipped her hand down inside, then extracted a roll of £20 notes. She peeled off half a dozen and handed them over. They were still warm.
Will this be enough?
Plenty, thanks, Miss Bannister.
Call me Mr. Barr. Day or night.
I will. And with that, she was gone. I headed out down the street to visit a lawyer friend of mine. Hamish has his ear to the ground, and if anyone was dealing in high-end stolen bikes, he'd know about it.
I don't know anything about it, Bobby. Stolen bikes? Nah, I haven't heard anything. Anyway, isn't this a bit of a petty crime for you?
Come on, Hamish. There are bikes being stolen left, right and centre in Peebles just now. Something's going on. What's the word in this street? Who's behind it?
That's out of my league, Bobby. Sure, there are rumours, but nothing you can prove. But this is big. You don't know what you're getting yourself into.
That's never stopped me, Hamish. Now come on, what rumours?
Right, well, you didn't hear this from me, right, Bobby?
No.
Anybody asks, you weren't here today.
Sure, Hamish, whatever you say.
Okay, well, you've heard of the Tweedle Festival, right?
Aye, the biking festival, it was on for about 9 months of the year.
Aye, well, the story goes that
It was typical Hamish. A jumble of rumours, overheard conversations, stories of strange coincidences, lights in the river and night-time dirty dealings.
and nighttime dirty dealings.
I took a walk along the high street, calling into all the bike shops that seemed to have opened in the past few years. I asked a few questions and got a few interesting replies. There was a lot to think about, so I went over the road to the Tweedy Tea Rooms and ordered up one of Mrs. Tweedy's pots of double-strength I-bean coffee. I was making some notes in the back of a napkin when I happened to hear and overheard a conversation between two shady characters a couple of tables away.
We'll need to do another run before Sunday.
It's too risky, Mickey. There's a full moon on Friday. Tonight's the last one for a week.
The boys have been busy. They need 6 more sheds and a garage last night. 11 units.
Can't you hide them till next week?
Look, Norrie, I do my job and you do yours. I'm telling you.
You don't tell me anything, Mickey. I decide when we do the river runs.
What does the boss say?
The boss, Mickey, says don't get caught on the river in a full moon. They've got plenty of wheels down there to be fixing up. You wait.
Alright. Then you find space in the island for these extras. My boys have taken risks, dealing with some high security sheds and bike locks these days.
We're all taking risks. Come on, Mickey, finish up your tea. We shouldn't be having these conversations here.
Aye, right.
When the two characters had left, I slipped out after them and followed at a distance. The talk of wheels and bike locks told me I was onto something. They parted company on the high street, so I followed the one called Norrie through Parliament Square and down the stinking steps. He crossed over and stood by the wishing well. I glanced up at the road, but when I looked back, he was gone. I ran over to the bridge and looked up and down the green, but there was no sign of him. I lit up a cigarette and leaned against the old wishing well to think things through. That's when I noticed it. The sound of the water moving back and forth at the bottom of the well, like something had disturbed it. I leaned over and caught a glimpse of a hatchway far down near the waterway. A secret tunnel, but where did it lead? I looked around me and my eyes settled in a patch of trees out on the river by the bridge. Tweed Island. Of course, it all made sense, and suddenly I understood what was going on and what I had to do next. I wouldn't be getting any sleep that night.
What will our hero uncover on Tweed Island? What really happened to Miss Bannister's bicycle? How did Bobby Barr figure it all out so quickly? And what happens to all the money you throw in that wishing well? Find out the answers to these and many other questions when we rejoin Bobby Barr, private detective, later in the show.
Sir Robert Barr of Manor, Kathy Kennedy, Sam Horbury, Scott Noble and the DHRC Radio Company of Actors bringing you another thrilling episode of Bobby Barr, Private Eye.
And now, ever on the lookout for appropriate songs to match the mood of the preceding sketch, here's our house band on stage to pick up the somber mood of mystery and intrigue.
The red-nosed reindeer had a very shiny nose, and if you ever saw it, you would even say it glows. All of the other reindeers used to laugh and call him names. They never let poor Rudolph join in any reindeer games.
Rudolph, with your nose so bright, won't you guide my sleigh tonight?
Then all the reindeer loved him as they shouted out with glee. Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer, you'll go down in good story.
you guide my sleigh tonight? Then all the reindeer loved him as they shouted out with glee. Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer, you go down in history. You go down in history.
That's the DHRC House Band bringing in the Christmas season with another old favourite here on the Amerrycana Christmas. Now, our show wouldn't be complete without a report from our food and drink correspondent, Chick Fow. Originally from Kansas in the United States, Chick brings his unique journalistic style to his reports about local events and customs here in the Scottish borders. We're on the line to Chick now to find out what's caught his eye this year in Peebles at Christmas time. Chick, how's it all going?
Well, hi, Robert. Can you hear me okay?
Hello?
Huh?
Hello?
Yeah, it's just that the lines are pretty crackly at this
delay,
end.
I think.
Yeah, I'm miles away from anywhere.
Where are you?
Yeah, I'm stuck out in the sticks. The real back and beyond.
Uh-huh. Where are you, Chick?
Well, I'm at home.
Oh, you're up at Manor Head.
No, back home in Kansas.
What?
Yeah, the good old US of A. You know, Trumpton.
You mean really back home?
Yeah, that's right. I got the chance of a cheap flight from Edinburgh via Chicago, and, well, Robert, you know, it's okay reporting from the Forsyth's turkey queue or checking out the Christmas deals in the various charity shops,
Yeah.
but Christmas itself has been pretty lonely for me of late.
For goodness sake. That's a shame, Chick. That's
Yeah.
we're all really sad to hear that.
Yeah, nobody invited me around for turkey and plum pudding. Nobody. And after a few years of a Christmas Day Shakira takeaway, I thought it's maybe time to head home.
Right. Well, that's great, Chick. Look, I hope you're having a good Christmas.
What? Well, you bet I am.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I'm stopping at my mom's house, and we got my brother Hank over, along with his wife and family.
All right.
In fact, why don't I get them over here to say hello to the good people of Peebles?
No, Chick, I don't think we've got time for that, actually.
Won't take a moment,
No,
Robert.
honestly, no.
Hey, Hank!
Just a short...
Hank! Hank! Hey, Hank, come over here, will you? He's watching the ball game,
Yeah,
Robert.
maybe we shouldn't...
It's kind of difficult to prize him away. Hank! Oh, here he is now. Yeah, listen, I'm on the phone to the folks back in Peebles, Scotland. You know that cute place I told you about?
Just bear with us.
Come over here and say hi, will you? Hi. Yeah, well, that's about as good as it gets with Hank, Robert.
Right.
Yeah, he's a man of few words.
Yeah.
But you know, we're all having a great time,
We're
and
gonna have to go.
the snow is deep outside. It's around minus 15 degrees. We got the turkey in the oven. We got beer in the fridge. Chestnuts on the open fire. Wow, sounds like a song.
Yeah. It sounds idyllic, Chick. Yeah. It's raining here.
Yeah. It's all pretty good, Robert. I mean, Mom's fixing us to eat pretty soon, so I better go give her a hand with the sprouts.
Always sprouts, eh, Chick?
Yeah, always sprouts.
Look, will we get to speak to you again maybe later in the show?
Oh, hot diggity, as we say around here.
Yeah.
I sure hope so.
Okay, Chick. Before we go, I take it you're getting to hear the show on the radio? You tuned in?
Yeah, sure, I'll be picking it up on KCMC Talk Radio out of Kansas City.
That's good.
Yeah, but you're 6 hours ahead of us, so it's not on yet.
Okay. Yeah, I think we'll just leave it at that, Chick. That's the magic of radio, I guess. So, Chick, look, we'll speak later. Enjoy the old down-home Christmas meal. Okay, goodbye. That's Chick Fowl there, reporting from his hometown in Kansas, where he's enjoying a traditional family Christmas. Chick's family must have had this next song in mind when they called him last month. Here's the DHRC House Band on stage with Please Come Home for Christmas.
Bells will be ringing this sad, sad news. Oh, what a Christmas to have the blues. My baby's gone, me greetings once again. Choirs will be singing silent night, Christmas carols by candlelight. Please come home for Christmas. Please come home for Christmas. If not for Christmas, by New Year's night. Friends and relations send salutations, sure as the stars shine above. But this is Christmas, Christmas, my dear, the time of year to be with the one that you love. So won't you tell me you'll never go wrong? Christmas and New Year will find you home. There'll be no more sorrow, no grief or pain, and I'll be happy, so happy once again. So won't you tell me you'll never more roam? Christmas and New Year will find you home. There'll be no more sorrow, no grief or pain, and I'll be happy, so happy once again.
Kathy Kennedy, ladies and gentlemen, please come home for Christmas. Hey, Steve, what do you call a fiddle player without a girlfriend?
I don't know. What do you call him?
Homeless.
Hey, I've got one. What's the difference between a musician and a large pizza?
I don't know, what's the difference?
A large pizza can feed a family of 4.
Hey, did you hear about the guitarist who was in tune?
No.
Neither did I.
Hey, Douglas, what's the difference between a banjo and a trampoline?
I don't know.
You
What?
you should take off your shoes when you jump on a trampoline.
You know, jokes like this are all very well, but beneath their glossy exterior lie stories of hardship and pain.
That's why we're launching the DHRC annual Christmas appeal, Musicians in Need.
Musicians in Need directs resources to where they're most needed. Take the story of Brian, the oboe player.
Brian came from a good family and was a happy boy at school. But at the age of 11, someone started teaching Brian to play the recorder. Things quickly got out of hand, and by the time he was 14, Brian was playing the trumpet in the silver band and was beginning to experiment with an oboe.
Now 26 and unemployed, Brian has been an oboe user for over 8 years. Often alone, but sometimes huddled together with other instrument users like himself in virtually empty concert halls.
It's a lonely life. I had a job in a warehouse for a while, but they caught me playing Mozart in the staff toilets, so they let me go.
Brian survives on benefits and occasional help from his friends, but he spends most of his meagre income on sheet music, reeds, and bow ties.
I'll be honest, if I had the choice between a hamburger and a couple of pages of Paganini, it's the music every time.
Your donation can help people like Brian to live a normal life. Musicians in Need employs trained counsellors and funds work programs to rehabilitate musicians of all kinds, regardless of the instrument they're playing. Even drummers can be helped if we have the resources. But Musicians in Need can't do its work without your generosity.
You've got to put yourself in their position. It's no good being judgmental. Some of these people started playing when they were very young and didn't know what they were doing. Sometimes they blame their parents, but my job is to help them make better choices on their own.
It's one day at a time. I haven't played a piece of music for nearly 4 months. Now, thanks to Musicians in Need, I know I'll always be addicted, but I'm hoping to see my family this Christmas.
This work, it's vital. It turns lives around, and we make every penny count.
You can make a donation now by sliding £10 into the back of your radio set or leaving a cheque under the seat here in the theatre tonight.
For the sake of musicians like Brian, whose lives can so easily be turned around, please give now to this worthy cause.
The DHRC Musicians in Need Appeal.
Thank you. And let's hear from some needy musicians right now here on the Amerrycana Christmas. It's the DHRC House Band with Here Comes Santa Claus.
Here comes Santa Claus, right down Santa Claus Lane. Vixen and Blitzen and all his reindeers falling on the reins. Bells are ringing, children singing, all is merry and bright. Hang your stockings and say your prayer, 'cause Santa Claus is coming tonight.
Here comes Santa Claus, riding down Santa Claus Lane. He's got a bag that's filled with toys for boys and girls again. Here comes Santa Claus, jingle, jangle, what a beautiful sight. Jump in bed, cover up your head, Santa Claus comes tonight.
Here comes Santa Claus, right down Santa Claus Lane. He doesn't care if you're rich or poor, he loves you just the same. Santa knows that we've got children, that makes everything right.
Fill your hearts with Christmas cheer,
'Cause Santa Claus is coming tonight. Here comes Santa Claus, right down Santa Claus Lane. He'll come around when the chimes ring out, it's Christmas time again. Peace on earth will come to all if you just follow the light.
let's give thanks to Lord above,
'Cause
Santa Claus comes tonight.
Let's give thanks to the Lord above. Guys,
Santa Claus comes tonight.
Here comes Santa Claus from the DHRC House Band here on the Amerrycana Christmas, broadcasting live from the Grand Old Eastgate Theatre in downtown Peebles.
Way back in the midst of time when the DHRC was a fledgling, just starting out on a big stage here on the Grand Old Eastgate Theatre for the very first time.
November 2010 to be exact.
We featured a number of special guests performing a variety of songs, poems and readings about Christmas.
Including a young lad just 10 years of age who read a poem called Calvin's Christmas.
Here's a short recorded extract of him performing his poem.
My hands were all shaky, my face had gone pale. A letter from Santa just arrived in the mail. Dear Calvin, it said, I'm writing because this year I've repealed my naughty nice laws.
Now, tonight, the DHRC officially comes of age because this evening's show is the 21st DHRC show performed here in the Grand Old Eastgate Theatre. That's 21 shows over 7 years.
And so to mark this special occasion, we're performing a number of classic sketches from past shows this evening.
We didn't have time to write a new script.
And we're celebrating the 1-year anniversary of the launch of the DHRC Creative Fund, which has been giving out grants to local young people to pursue their artistic dreams.
Just this month, the fund has purchased an electric piano for a 14-year-old to pursue her love of music, given funds for professional art materials for a budding young artist, and paid for a young piper to repair and upgrade a set of small pipes that he purchased second-hand.
The DHRC is committed to supporting young people in any kind and any aspect of artistic pursuit, including stage performance. So we'd like to welcome on stage now Lavelle Santimano as well. Beg your pardon. Now 17 years old, this is the same young lad who read that poem to us in the very first show, back now to do it all again.
He's probably feeling very nervous, so please give him a very warm DHRC welcome. Lavelle Santimano, ladies and gentlemen.
My hands were all shaky, my face had gone pale. A letter from Santa just arrived in the mail. Dear Calvin, it said, I'm writing because this year I've repealed my naughty nice laws. So now I urge you, be vulgar, be crude. I like it when children are boorish and rude. Barf at the table, gargle your peas. Never say thank you, you're welcome, or please. Talk back to your mother, don't do as you're told. Stick your tongue out at your dad if he scold. Drive everyone crazy, I really don't care. Act like a jerk, anytime, anywhere. I'm changing the rules. The bad girls and boys will be from now on the ones who get toys. Good little kids make me sick, it's no joke. Sincerely, signed Santa. And then I awoke. I hate being good, or trying to fake it. 6 days until Christmas, I don't think I'll make it.
Lavelle Santimano, ladies and gentlemen, 7 years on from that very first show, and now all grown up, just like us.
Just like us. And continuing the theme of nostalgia, we've been looking back through the show's archives. Or at least our archivist Steve has, over there in the DHRC lockup down by the drill hall. He's managed to unearth some archived recordings of himself from that very first DHRC show in 2010, which we called the Annual Christmas Compendium, looking back at even earlier shows. Steve, what have you found?
Well, hi Douglas. Yeah, I've been listening to a recording of myself 7 years ago, introducing the archive slot here on the DHRC Annual Christmas Compendium show in November 2010. Have a listen to this. First up is a short extract from a wax cylinder dating from 1896. A now famous local store had just opened and was looking for business.
Apple warehouse for all your lingerie needs. The latest bone corsets are our speciality. Yes, with the 1900s just around the corner, it's good to come to Castle Warehouse for all your bits and pieces. And for our expert fitting service. Castle Warehouse, we're all you need when life becomes a handful.
A rare clip there from the 1896 recording of the show. The 1930s was an age of austerity, but a recording of the Annual Christmas Compendium on a 78 RPM Bakelite record gave us this magical extract.
Castle Warehouse for all your lingerie needs. The latest latex bras are our speciality. Yes, with the 1930s just around the corner, it's good to come to for all your bits and pieces. Fitting service, it becomes a handful.
In the 1960s, our annual show brought in swinging Christmases here in Peebles. Here's a clip from a 1964 show, pressed in red vinyl and sold in record shops as far-flung as Gala Shields.
Castle Warehouse, for all your lingerie and swimwear needs. The latest bikinis are our speciality. Yes, with the swinging 1960s in full swing, it's good to come to Castle Warehouse All you bits, get a handful. Get a handful. Get a handful. Get a handful.
Always up with the times, the 1979 Christmas Compendium was released on compact cassette tape for playing in Ford Escorts up and down the country. We plugged it in to see how it sounded today.
Castle Warehouse for all your lingerie and swimwear needs. Halter-neck tops and the latest shell suits a speciality. Yes, with the 1980s and a miners' strike just around the corner, it's good to come to Castle Warehouse for all your bits and pieces.
Rare recordings there. Rare recordings from the annual Christmas Compendium archives, and available now on CD and digital download for a short time only. Oh, yeah, that's a younger Steve Lee there, introducing the archives on the 2010 DHRC show right here on the Grand Old Eastgate Theatre.
That's our archivist Steve Lee with archived recordings of himself, introducing archived recordings of the DHRC from another era.
Yes, it's all slightly surreal. So we'll be taking a short break after this next song from our equally surreal DHRC house band. Unchanged since the very earliest Americana show in 1897. They'll still play the same old songs. Here's Winter Wonderland, as if you hadn't already guessed.
Sleigh bells ring, are you listening? In the lane, snow is glistening. A beautiful sight, we're happy tonight, walking in a winter wonderland. Gone away is the bluebird, here to stay is a new bird. He sings a love song as we go along, walking in a winter wonderland. In the meadow we can build a snowman, then pretend that he is Parson Brown.
He'll say, are you married? We'll say, no, man. But you can do the job when you're in town.
Later on we'll conspire as we dream by the fire,
To face unafraid the plans that we made,
walking in a winter wonderland.
build a snowman and pretend that he's Parson Brown. We'll have lots of fun with Mr. Snowman until the other kids knock him down. When it snows, ain't it thrilling? Though your nose gets a chillin', we frolic and play the Eskimo way, walking in a winter wonderland. Walking in a winter wonderland. Walking in a winter wonderland. Walking in a winter wonderland.
Just before our interval this evening, there's just time to get the latest news headlines from PN24, the digital news channel from the Peebles News.
Scottish Border President Shona Haslam has announced that Peebles is the true capital of the borders and is moving the council headquarters to Peebles next year. The announcement has caused controversy around the world with the Chinese president asking where and the US President Donald Trump tweeting, I thought Shona everything she knows.
That's all the news there from TN24. We're taking a break for about 20 minutes. Please avail yourselves of the extremely well-stocked Eastgate Bar, and don't forget to come back for the second half. Thank you. Deck the halls from the DHRC House Band, welcoming us back to the second half of the 2017 Amerrycana Christmas Show, broadcasting live from the Grand Old Eastgate Theatre in downtown Peebles.
Coming up in this portion of the show, Bobby Barr sails down the river, and Angus and Gordon head up to Gypsy Glen.
And we'll drop into our favourite hardware store down there on Peebles High Street. But before all that, it's time once again to get our players on stage for the popular panel game called Grand Old Eastgate. Now, we all know the rules, of course, but this week we're playing the no parking on the pavement rule, and Tweed Green is wild after 7 p.m.
Can I just check? Parking outside factory is still okay if I leave the engine running?
Technically, yes, provided your left indicator is on.
Okay.
So, is everybody ready? Yeah. Robert, you can start.
All right, Manor Break.
Bonington Road.
That's a smart move. Sam?
Let me see. Chambers Terrace on a triple word score.
Can he do that?
Yes, if he reverses straight out onto the main road.
In that case, Caledonian Road in a taxi.
Nice one.
Venlaw Road.
Edinburgh Road.
Northgate, top end.
Yep, what is it, Sam?
Indian takeaway rule on Northgate.
What?
Oh, okay, I'm just... Sam's right. The 1981 takeaway and hairdressing rule means at least one sudden stop and awkward park on the Northgate. Now, we're playing no parking, so you lose a point, Robert. Steve?
Yeah, I'm just thinking, Beach's Corner, U-turn.
Fat face.
No, I haven't.
Repetition of fat face.
Actually, Robert, the first fat face was just a clarification.
Okay, well, deviation.
All right, I can give you deviation. So, advantage, Robert, and it's your turn to serve.
Rosetta Road.
Steve?
Parish Church Roundabout heading west.
Parish Church Roundabout heading south.
In that case, Tweed Bridge heading north.
Who gives way here? You've done it, haven't you?
Is it me?
Okay, look, fingers on buzzers, teams. Sam, you got in there first, it's your move.
Eastgate, waiting behind the precise meat lorry.
Mid path traffic lights.
Oh, that's a clever move.
Except they're stuck on red again.
But that means...
yes! Grand Old Eastgate!
Yes, well done, Steve, and well played, everyone. I hope you all followed along at home. And this week's winner, Steve Lee.
Thank you. Let's have some music from our house band now. They're on stage with We Need a Little Christmas.
halls again. Fill up the stocking and maybe rushing things, but deck the halls again now. For we need a little Christmas right this very minute. Candles in the window, carols at this minute. Yes, we need a little Christmas right this very minute. It hasn't snowed a single flurry, but Santa dear, we're in a hurry. So climb down the chimney. There's not the brightest string of lights I've ever seen. Slice up the fruitcake. It's time we hung some tinsel on that evergreen bough. For I've grown a little leaner, grown a little colder, grown a little sadder, grown a little older, and I need a little angel sitting on my shoulder. I need a little Christmas now. Haul out the holly, the ones I taught you all to live each living day. Fill up the stocking, the dancing lane is 1 week past Thanksgiving Day now. For we need a little Christmas right this very minute. Candles in the window, carols at this minute, and we need a little Christmas right this very minute. It hasn't snowed a single flurry, but Santa dear, we're in a hurry. So climb down the chimney. It's been a long time since I felt the neighborly. Slice up the fruitcake. It's time we hung some tinsel on the neighborly bough. For we need a little Christmas right this very minute. Candles in the window, carols at this minute, and we need a little Christmas right this very minute. We need a little Christmas now. Need a little Christmas now.
Angus, over here.
Gordon, have you recovered yet?
Oh, not quite. My brain's still numb. What a palaver.
How did you get on with the first task?
Oh, it was horrible. My hands are still stinking.
What did you have to do?
Oh, well, me and the traffic warden bloke had to stick our hands into the bottom of the Forsyth's bins, amongst all the animal intestines, and fumble about for some keys, which unlocked a box containing a meal ticket.
And did you get any?
No. You know what my arthritis is like. And the traffic warden said he was a vegetarian, and he couldn't do it as a matter of principle.
So beans and rice that night, eh? And which episode did you get voted off?
Oh, the second one. It was just so pointless, I couldn't stand it anymore.
What? The programme?
No, the task. It was awful. I had to read through back issues of the Peebles News and look for grammatical errors.
Oh, that's just no fair.
I know. And every time I spotted one, I'd earn a meal ticket for the camp.
Oh, remember that. And we ate well that night. I didn't realise it was down to you.
Aye, well, it was just too easy, and that was the trouble. I found so many. Seems the programme researchers hadn't figured on it being like that. The viewers thought I was looking too smug and cocky. Nobody likes the smart ass, and so it was me that got voted off. What about you?
Well, I actually made it to the final, but the last task was beyond me.
Why, what did you have to do?
Design and work out the best place for the next bridge across the Tweed.
But that's impossible.
Well, David Mundell had a few ideas, and what about that Shona Haslam? What a feisty woman she is. There's only one person in the whole show that could stand up to her, and it wasn't me, I can tell you, and it wasn't Mundell.
Well, you mean it must have been...
Oh yes, The surprise late entrant won the show hands down, and she wasn't taking any prisoners. Forthright, genuine, down to earth, no hidden agendas, tells it like it is.
That's right, and now it's all over.
She can place her plaque on the wall as the winner of the inaugural I'm a Peeblesian, get me out of here, and things can return to normal. Well done to Mrs. Tweedy.
Aye. Well done, Mrs. Tweedy. A worthy winner.
Steve Lee and who else? Robert Barr, that was it. Playing Angus and Gordon, enjoying the distinctive ambience of the Tweedy Tea Room down there off the high street and overlooking Tweed Green. With a plethora of new kid on the block coffee shops and tea rooms offering frothy pots of sticky, sugary nothingness and cakes that are simply diabetes on a plate, it's good to know that the Tweedy Tea Room continues to offer the people of Peebles a no-nonsense, traditionally Presbyterian approach to customer service. Firm, plain scones that will quickly find any faults in your dental work and stay true to form right through your system and out the other end. Dark roasted coffee from the I-Bean Coffee Company is brewed fresh every Tuesday and Friday and kept on the hot plate 24 hours a day. When you've had enough of the new kids, come home to the Tweedy Tea Room. Please note that toilets are for paying customers only. If you think you'll need toilet paper, back copies of the Peeblesian News are available on the rack beside the door on your way in.
Other coffee shops are available, but as our DHRC house band discovered during a recent visit to a rival tea room here in Peebles, they serve little more than sickly froth in oversized mugs. They wrote a song about it, and here they are with Marshmallow World.
Not often we find ourselves up here in Peebles, Stan.
Aye, right enough, Bert. Most of the council spending's back down in Hoyt and Galashiels. Mind you, that's changing with this new President Haslam and her Peebles First policy.
Aye, Stan, it was a big part of our election campaign, right enough.
Aye, there's still a couple of hundred boxes of those red Peebles First baseball caps down in the council stores in Galashiels.
Weren't they talking about using them to fill in the potholes in the A72, Stan?
Aye, Bert, but that was before they decided on this new pothole policy of not filling them in at all.
How does that work, Stan?
They hired in some consultants, Bert.
Consultants?
Aye, consultants. Well, in fact, they're just council senior managers who recently got huge golden handshakes and an early retirement, who then set themselves up as consultants and got hired back by the council to do the same job for 3 times what they used to get paid.
Could we do that, Stan?
I don't think so, Bert. We didn't go to the right schools.
So what did the consultants say, Stan?
Well, it turns out that potholes are nature's way of telling us that the road surface is too high.
You mean the bottom of the pothole is where the road surface should be?
You're getting the idea, Bert.
So we shouldn't fill them potholes anymore. Just leave them until the whole road is one big pothole, and that's the new surface.
Aye, Bert. No more filling in of potholes.
How's that working out for them, Stan?
Well, sales of 4x4s are through the roof in the borders, and the local garages are seeing a boom in tyre and suspension repairs.
So everyone's a winner, Stan.
Aye, Bert. That's the benefit of hiring consultants.
So if we're no filling potholes today, Stan, what are we doing up here in Peebles? And what's this strange looking truck we're driving with all this equipment in the back?
This is a signal detector truck, Bert, on loan from the mobile phone companies. It seems there's a problem with the mobile phone signal up here in Peebles. It keeps getting cut off, for hours or days at a time. Lots of people on Peebles W4 are getting very annoyed.
I don't see that's the council's problem, Stan.
Well, the mobile companies reckon there's something in Peebles that's blocking or absorbing the signal and stopping it from working.
Like what?
Well, radio interference or maybe some large metal object of some kind.
And we've been sent up here in this special truck to see if we can find out what's stopping the mobile signal from working.
You've summarised the situation in a nutshell, Stan, with your usual perspicacity.
I'm not just a pretty face, Stan.
A few members of the audience have commented on that fact.
Aye, and I reckon there's a few audience members who've already figured out where this sketch is heading, Stan. So they'd better get on with the job.
Right, hop in the truck, Bert, and we'll drive this detector around the streets and see what it picks up.
This is hopeless, Stan. We've been driving around for an hour and there's nothing showing up. Are you sure it's working?
I don't know, Bert. But that's our shift almost over. Let's head back to headquarters. Turn left down here, down March Street, and we can head out along the Edinburgh Road. Hold on a minute, Bert. I'm getting a signal here.
I'll pull over opposite the Eastgate car park here on Edinburgh Road. I think I can see what the problem might be.
What on earth is that?
It's an enormous tangled mass of metal stand. Looks like someone might have dumped it here in the middle of the night.
Why haven't the people of Peebles complained about this before, Bert? It must have been here for months. Look, the grass is growing through it.
This kind of vandalism is more than youth just horsing around.
Aye, this sets a new high bar for fly tipping. It's brash to say the least. And what's more, my equipment says this is what's blocking the mobile phone signal in Peebles. It's absorbing all the radio waves for miles around.
Let's clear it away and get it in the truck stand.
Right, hop in the truck, Bert. Let's go and dump this somewhere no more appropriate.
Hoyt Town Centre, do you?
Aye, they'll never notice it down there.
That's right, come on.
Bert and Stan there from Scottish Borders Council, clearing away another unwanted pile of junk from the public highway.
We're paying a visit to our favourite hardware store here on the Amerrycana Christmas, right after the next musical number from our award-winning DHRC house band.
But before all that, it's Miller's time.
Yes, it's Miller's time. Time for hacking jackets,
Fleecy body warmers,
extra thick woolen socks,
knee pads,
surgical sponges,
foot rot treatment,
tapeworm tweezers,
anal thermometers,
pile cream,
chicken basters,
snow globes,
crocus bulbs,
light bulbs,
heat lamps,
camping stools,
stamping tools,
strenching tools,
slide rules,
bike ramps,
wheel clamps,
biofuels,
driverless cars,
artificial intelligence,
rakes,
spades,
shovels,
picks,
bricks,
wicks,
sticks,
stacks,
stocks,
locks,
clocks,
locks,
whips,
snips,
snap clips,
sheep dip,
cheese dip,
onion dip,
tomato sauce,
guacamole,
Pringles,
shingles,
dingles,
tingles,
jingle bells,
prancer,
dancer,
dasher,
Donna,
blitzen,
and terracotta figurines.
To be Miller's.
Yes, it has to be Miller's. Cross the bridge, turn right, dodge all the parked cars along Caledonian Road, head up the hill and swerve right when you get to the top or you'll end up in a field. Miller's is your one-stop shop for all your Christmas provisions, from hollybush trimmers to prophylactics, from onesies to multi-purpose hygienic wipes and sacks of dog food big enough to withstand a nuclear winter. Load up your sleigh this Christmas at Miller's of Peebles and other places as well.
Get your dancing shoes on now. It's Merry Christmas Polka from the DHRC house band.
Hooray!
Tuning up the fiddles now, the fiddles now, the fiddles now. Time to warm the fiddles now. Set your head a whirl. Round and round the room we go, the room we go, the room we go. Round and round
Stores. How can I help you? Oh, it's Santa. My goodness me, Santa. What brings you to Peebles the night before Christmas? Shouldn't you be delivering presents somewhere? It's already Christmas Day, like New Zealand.
Ho, ho, ho! Hello, Mr. Scott. Ho, ho, ho! I've got a bit of time yet before I start delivering presents. That's why I'm here in Peebles. Presents.
That's amazing. But Santa, did you used to be in Z-Cars?
Ha ha! So you guessed it. Yes, but that was a long time ago.
It certainly was. So, you're here for presents in Scott's Stores. Why?
I'll tell you why. Brexit.
Brexit?
Brexit.
Brexit?
Yes, Brexit. And exchange rates. Since the pound plummeted, it's cheaper for me to buy everything in Britain. And as half my bones are already at Crosskirk, I thought I'd get as much as I can from the best shop in Peebles, Scott's Stores.
Glad to hear it, Santa. Yes, you've certainly come to the right place. You'll get everything from house and home here.
But, you know, I am worried about this Brexit thing. It's the borders, you know, hard or soft. I'm not sure whether I'll get a visa for delivering presents to Peebles or to Scotland or to the UK.
I thought you were above that sort of thing, Santa. Literally. But what nationality are you anyway?
Well, when I was St. Nicholas, I was Greek. Oh. But now I'm just Santa, I'm not sure. I think Coca-Cola bought the right to me.
America first, eh?
Well, actually, it's America last. I don't get to Hawaii until just before the stroke of Boxing Day.
I think you're worrying unnecessarily, Santa. You can just fly above all these borders. If you'll excuse me for a moment, please, Santa. Hello, sir. Welcome to Scott's Stores. How can I help you?
Did I hear somebody mention borders?
Aha, it's Mr. Davis, our Brexit negotiator. Hot from negotiating table in Brussels. What brings you to Scott's Stores?
That's right, it's me, Brexit Bulldog, negotiator par excellence. I thought I might need to come here to get some materials for hard boarding. You know, blockwork, cement, security tyres, search tyres, barbed wire, that sort of thing. Seems all I need now is a computer and a barcode reader.
Is this for the border between Northern Ireland and the Republic?
That's right. Maybe I'd better buy everything for a hard border anyway. You know, just in case, because as the PM says, nothing's agreed until everything's agreed. Look, you know, I mean, I'll tell you what. I've come here because you must know all about the borders in the Scottish borders. You know, Hadrian's Wall and all that.
Ah, yes. There's not actually a border at the border anymore, you know.
I know, and it's bordering on the insane, and yet it works. And that's what I want to know about, in order to solve this Irish problem. That Arlene Foster is doing my head in.
Oh, whilst I remember, have you drawn up that dossier on how Brexit will affect the retail sector yet?
No.
Or the agricultural sector?
Don't think so.
Or the tourism sector?
No. I think it's going to be no to everything on your list.
I see. I thought since this is the Scottish borders, we must know all about borders.
Absolutely right, Mr. Scott. Can you help?
Well, it's not quite my forte, but I'll see what I can do.
Did somebody mention Les Borders?
Aha! Michel Barnier, another surprise. What can possibly have brought you to Scott's Stores so close to Christmas? This isn't Brussels, you know, but you might get some sprouts at Sainsbury's.
I am staying in the area for Christmas. I have a cottage up the Manor Valley, and Peebles, it seems the natural choice since it is the beautiful Scottish borders. Where else should I go this Christmas to buy my wife's bush for her herbaceous border?
Not another bloody border. So you came to the borders to find out about herbaceous borders, and Mr. Davis is here to find out about hard or soft borders, and Santa here, well, he's just worried about borders.
We could talk about the divorce bill if you prefer.
No!
Excuse me, gentlemen. Hello, Scott's Stores?
It's Arlene Foster here. I just want to make sure I'm not excluded from any conversations regarding Brexit.
I see.
And whilst I'm at it, we want a Scott's Stores here in Northern Ireland. It's not fair the only one is in Peebles. And we want a tontine and we want a Tweed Bridge in every town, whether they have a river or not. And we want to share your Beltane Festival and be massive pains in everybody's arse. And another thing.
Not today, thank you. Cold collar. Anyway. I tell you what, I've got 2 people in the back of the shop who've crossed more borders to be here than you lot put together. Why don't you all go and meet them? I've told them they can stay with me for a while.
You mean you have 2 lodgers?
Yes, or boarders, as I prefer to call them. A lovely couple from the Middle East.
You mean Duns?
No, they're refugees from Palestine. I've told them they can bed down in the back of the shop with the hay bales and the paint mixing.
So they are, how you say, boarders?
That's right, they are my boarders. You know, they have nothing, not a thing, and she's pregnant too. Too soon, she thinks, and you know something odd? There's been a bright light above the shop ever since they got here.
Well, that's what drew me into your shop.
Is that right?
Well, sure, me too. It is such a lovely light, like a star.
This is beginning to sound seasonally familiar.
You know, I could give them their present while I'm here.
That might be wise. In fact, why don't all you 3 wise gentlemen do that?
I could give them this can of gold spray paint.
An excellent choice, Santa.
And I could give them something smelly. Do you have any frankincense?
No, but I have a citronella candle. Will that do?
And I shall give them my wife's bush for her herbaceous border. How about the holly bush?
No holly bushes, I'm afraid, but I do have a mere bush on special offer.
I don't think I know what that is. But that will do fine. How much is that?
Let me see. Since it's you and it's Christmas, that'll be 39 billion euros.
Sacre That's ridiculous. Keep the bush. I'm going through the back to see them anyway.
Oh, no, you don't, mon ami. You can't go to phase 2 till we've agreed on phase 1. That will be 39 billion euros, please. And can you hurry up? I'm about to lock up the shop.
No, forget it. I'll get my purchases from Miller's. They are sans frontières up there.
He seemed a bit miffed. And he'll be lucky at Miller's. They close at 5. Anyway, time to lock up. Get your gifts, everybody. I'll grab the mirror bush. Come on, let's join the party at the back of the shop. Mr. Davis, watch out for the camel dung. Oh, no, never mind. Merry Christmas, everybody.
And a Merry Christmas to you, Mr. Scott. From all the members of the DHRC Royal Company of Radio Actors there. Now, from Peebles High Street to the noisy streets of New York now, it's the DHRC House Band with a Christmas classic.
'Twas Christmas Eve, babe, in the drunk tank, an old man said to me, won't see another one. And then he sang a song, the rare old mountain time. I turned my head away and dreamed about you. God, I'm the lucky one. Came in 18 to 1. I got a feeling this year's for me and you. So happy Christmas. I love you, baby. I can't see better times when all our dreams come true. of Tweedy Green of New York City. When the band finished playing, they held out for more. Sinatra was swinging, all the drunks they were singing, and we kissed on a corner and danced through the floor. And the guys from the NYPD choir are singing Galway Bay, and the bells were ringing out for Christmas Day. Yeah, an old flat-on junk lying there, almost dead on a trunk on the bed.
You scumbag, you maggot, you cheap, lousy faggot. Happy Christmas, your ass a prick, but it's all out.
And the boys from the NYPD choir was singing Galway Bay, and the bells were ringing out for Christmas Day.
Well, so could anyone. You took my dreams from me when I first found you.
I kept them with me, babe. I put them with my own. Can't make it all alone. I built my world around you. And the boys from the NYPD choir are singing Galway Bay, and the bells were ringing out for Christmas Day.
High above Peebles High Street, in the attic rooms of the old Veitch's building, are the offices of Bobby Barr, private detective. Missing wives and wayward husbands, corrupt officials and just plain old dirty dealings, he's seen it all. If you need someone to follow that cab, rifle through that drawer and dig up the dirt, call into the offices of Bobby Barr.
I was on the trail of a thief who'd stole my client's high-end mountain bike. Miss Carmen Bannister rode her bike in international competitions, wearing her tailor-made red lycra suit that hugged her body like a smooth coating of wax. The idea of it kept me awake at night. That someone should have stolen her precious bicycle for the third time in a year. After overhearing a conversation in the Tweedy Tea Room, I followed a suspicious character called Norrie onto the Tweed Green and discovered a secret tunnel leading from the wishing well under the river to Tweed Island. That night, I crawled through the tunnel and emerged through a trap door in the middle of the island, and I couldn't believe what I saw.
Come on, I want all these bikes loaded tonight, and keep the noise down.
A wooden barge was pulled up alongside the island, and two men were loading mountain bikes onto it. There must have been hundreds of bikes, all top quality machines, and all likely stolen from local sheds and garages around Peebles.
Good work, let's get underway. The river's high tonight, so it could be a bumpy ride.
They prepared to cast off, and I took my opportunity to sneak on board and hide in amongst the bikes on the dark side of the barge. As we passed by the lights in the Tweed Green, I spotted Miss Bannister's mountain bike at the other end of the barge.
Well, the boss is going to be happy with this lot, Tommy.
I know it. If they get them turned around in a week, they could be selling them back to their owners before the end of the month.
And a nice pile of cash in our pockets meantime. Then, in a couple of months, we can pinch them all over again.
We were moving down the river in the pitch darkness with several hundred stolen bikes. But where were we headed? It sounded like I had stumbled on an organised bike thieving operation. But there was more to it than that. I laid low, and after about an hour the barge steered towards the bank and a low bridge crossing the river. Judging by the mingled sounds of folk music, noisy car exhausts and breaking glass, we were near Innerleithen. And there were people waiting on the shore to unload the bikes. Suddenly, bright lights came on all around.
Hey, who's that crouching among the bikes over there?
You, come out of there. Don't try anything funny. I've got a gun pointed at your chest.
All right, I'm coming out.
Grab him, Tommy. Who are you?
I'm Bobby Barr, private detective.
I didn't think private detectives still wore coats like that.
Belonged to my granny.
I can believe it.
She was a detective too.
Take him to the boss. If he tries to get away, kill him.
No problem. Come on, Barr.
A team of people had arrived and were unloading bikes. They took them to a tumble-down building and carried them inside. It's where they took me to.
Excuse me, boss.
What is it?
We found this guy stowed away on the barge from Peebles. Says he's a detective.
In that coat?
It belonged to my granny.
Wait a minute. I know you. You're that shabby detective with an office in Veitch's building.
Less of the old, if you don't mind.
What are you doing here?
A client of mine had her bike stolen, and I followed it here.
Well, that was your first and last mistake in this case, Mr. Barr. Now you've seen what we're doing, we're going to have to get rid of you.
Not so fast. I know who you are as well, and I know about the bike shops and the Tweed Love connection.
What do you mean? I don't know what you're talking about.
Yes, you do. I did a bit of digging around before I jumped in your barge full of stolen bikes tonight. It's all connected, isn't it? The only thing I couldn't figure out was how they were all connected. But now I've met you, I understand it all.
Even if I didn't know what you're talking about, it makes no difference. I get rid of you and the whole problem goes away. But I'm curious, Mr. Barr. Go on. You've got 2 minutes to tell me what you think you've figured out. Then I'm going to send you to the bottom of the Tweed with a couple of concrete blocks for company.
It was you that started up that Tweed Love biking festival 7 years ago. And it's made mountain biking one of the biggest things in Tweeddale.
I'm not denying it. So what?
But that wasn't enough for you, was it? 3 years ago you bought up all the old bike shops in Peebles.
No, I didn't.
You covered your tracks well, but I've got the paperwork to prove it. You cornered the local market in top quality cycles. And you built up a list of all the locals who own expensive mountain bikes.
This is ridiculous. Get him out of here.
I've still got a minute left. That brings us to this little operation down here in Innerleithen. I don't know exactly what you're doing with all these stolen bikes from Peebles, but let me take a wild guess. The smell of paint in here suggests you're fixing up and respraying all these bikes. Then you're shipping them back up to your bike shops in Peebles and selling them as new bikes to the people who have just got their insurance payments for their stolen bikes.
You're smarter than you look, Barr.
Take that as a compliment.
Makes no difference now anyway. You'll be dead in an hour or so. You got most of it right, but you're not thinking big enough.
How so?
You think it's just Peebles? I own every bike shop between West Linton and Berwick-upon-Tweed. Every bike pinched in the borders come up or down the river to my factory here and gets sold back to the owners every 6 months or so. Tweed Loves keeps everyone hooked on biking, and the insurance companies keep paying for the same bikes over and over. Everyone's a winner, Barr, except you.
Just
take him away.
One more thing before I go.
What?
Here. Read this. I reached slowly into my coat pocket and pulled out a folded piece of paper.
What's this?
It explains an ancient 14th century law that still exists in Peebles.
14th century law? What are you talking about?
Just read it.
Residents of Tweed Green and Peebles have the ancient right to hang their washing out to dry on the green at any time, and whenever they do, no other events are permitted on the green for the rest of the day. What is all this, Barr?
I've had 600 of these leaflets printed and they're ready to distribute to all the residents who live around Tweed Green.
And?
These people have had a guts full of Tweed love with its road closures and its noisy music and litter all over Tweed Green every weekend. They could shut you down with a few sheets hung out to dry every day through the summer. And then where would you be? No Tweed love, no expensive bikes, no profitable bike shops, and no insurance scams.
You can't do that.
These leaflets are ready to be delivered tomorrow unless I give the word.
All right, I get it. What do you want?
I want a client's bike back.
That's it?
You figure out the rest. I'm not the police, but I know right from wrong. I'll be watching you, and I still have these leaflets. They let me go. And they even gave me a ride back up the river on their barge, along with Miss Bannister's bike. The next morning I phoned Miss Carmen Bannister with the good news.
Hello?
Miss Bannister, it's Bobby Barr here.
Mr. Barr, this is a surprise. Have you found my stolen bicycle?
It's right here in my office, Miss Bannister. I thought you'd like to come and,
Oh, that's wonderful news, Mr. Barr. I don't know how I can thank you.
Well, now that you mention
The thing is, Mr. Barr, since I've been without my bicycle, I've discovered a love for motorbikes. I bought a Harley Davidson and joined the Ledburn Inn Touring Club. We're leaving tomorrow for a motor trek across Africa, and I'll be away for 4 months. Maybe I can collect the bicycle from you when I get back, or maybe you can just sell it on to cover your fees.
I see. It's no problem, Miss Bannister. You head off on your motor tour. I'll take care of the bike.
Goodbye, Mr. Barr, and thank you again.
Don't mention it. I put the phone down and stared out of the window. It was raining again. I wondered if I could make it across to Greg's without getting drenched. Then I thought, what the hell? I headed out for a sausage roll and a cigarette.
The voice talents of Sir Robert Barr, Sam Horbury, Douglas Roberts, Kathy Kennedy, and Steve's meant to be reading this.
Didn't see my lips move.
I think I missed the bit above. And from a river ride to a winter ride now, get your hats and coats on. It's the DHRC House Band heading out into the snow with Sleigh Ride.
Just hear those sleigh bells jingling, ring, ting, tingling, too.
the sleigh ride from the DHRC house band there. You're listening to the DHRC Amerrycana Christmas, broadcasting live from... I have no idea what's going on behind me. From the magnificent auditorium of the Grand Old Eastgate Theatre in downtown Peebles. Before the next musical number this evening, there's just time to get the latest news headlines from PN24, the digital news channel from the Peebleshire News.
Sales of onions at Peebles have skyrocketed during the recent cold weather as users of the popular Peebles W4 Facebook pages have taken to rubbing their car windscreens with half an onion before they go to bed at night to prevent them from freezing. There's no scientific evidence to make it any difference, but the enthusiasts say that on W4 it must be true. Critics say that Peebles residents don't really know their onions and have lists of marbles.
That's PN24. In partnership with Peebles W4, the Facebook page, when you've got nothing else to do. We're heading towards the end of our show for this evening. Coming up, we'll be checking in with our food and drink correspondent, Chick Fowle, who's flown home to Kansas for a traditional American Christmas with his family. But not before our house band wishes him and everyone listening tonight a very Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas, everyone.
Snow is falling all around me. Children playing, having fun. It's the season, love and understanding. Merry Christmas, everyone. Time for parties, celebration. People dancing all night long. Time for presents and exchanging kisses. Time for singing Christmas songs. We're gonna have a party tonight. I'm gonna find that girl underneath the mistletoe and kiss by candlelight. Room is swaying, records playing, all the old songs we love to hear. All I wish that every day was Christmas. What a nice way to spend the year. We're gonna have a party tonight. I'm gonna find that girl underneath the mistletoe and kiss our candlelight. Snow is falling all around me, Children playing, having fun. It's the season, love and understanding. Merry Christmas, everyone. Merry Christmas, everyone. Merry Christmas, everyone. Snow is falling all around me. Children playing, having fun. It's the season, love and understanding. Merry Christmas, everyone. Snow is falling all around me. Children playing, having fun. everyone. Merry Christmas, everyone. Merry Christmas, everyone.
And now, as promised, we're on the line once again to the United States of America and our food and drink correspondent, Chick Fowle, who's flown home to enjoy the American Dream Christmas. When we spoke to him earlier, he was with the family, gathered round the fire, enjoying chestnuts and fine company. Let's see how he's getting on. Chick! Hello, Chick, are you there? Chick? Hello, Chick Fowle. We seem to be having some connection problems here, ladies and gentlemen. Can we... Chick, can you hear me?
Oh, hi, Robert.
Chick?
Yeah, I can hear you. I must say it's not the best of times for you to call.
Problems, Chick?
Yeah, well, sort of. No, it's just the usual sort of stuff that happens between families at Christmas.
Okay.
It could be happening anywhere.
Right now it's happening in Kansas, I think.
Oh, boy, you bet it is. I mean, the Christmas meal was going pretty good, you know? I prepared my specialty haggis balls with cranberry juice.
Oh yeah, I've had those. Yeah, they're good.
Yeah, you know, nice food. But then everybody started to drink a little bit too much wine and beer.
Uh-oh.
And then Hank's wife, Mary Jane, mentioned how great Trump is.
Ouch.
Yeah, and who gives a damn about climate change anyway in the middle of bloody Kansas? We got 2 feet of snow outside. Just as one of her kids decided to take some crystal meth he'd been saving as a treat for Christmas Day.
Right.
And you know, the whole day kind of went off the rails.
Hey! It's sounding pretty lively over there, Chick.
We've all sort of got cabin fever now. Well, because of the snow, we haven't been out of the house for 3 days.
Right.
Yeah, the power keeps flicking off, and that's getting Hank real mad as he can't watch the ball game. And now it looks like the furnace is broken, so we're all packed in the front of the fire in this sitting room, and, well, that's not helping.
Merry bloody Christmas, Peebles! When are you gonna come and collect my useless brother for your good little town?
Sorry about that, Robert. Hank's getting a little frustrated.
I wonder if you're longing for Peebles, Chick.
Well, it does have its attractions, Robert. Mm-hmm. Especially as the Indian takeaway stays open on Christmas Day.
It does, yeah.
And the 62 bus can still get through. Is it snowing there?
What happened to my goddamn ball game?
Wow, it seems pretty eventful over there, Chick. Well, yeah, there's a bit of snow. It's mostly just frozen solid on the pavements at the moment. Bit of sunshine, frost, nothing too severe. Everything's functioning except the government.
Oh, well, if I can get out of this place, I hope to fly home next week. I'll see you then, Robert.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, we'll see you later, Chick. Oh, is the radio broadcasting the show now?
Well, we only have a digital radio and the internet's down.
Oh.
So I guess I'll be missing that too.
Well, no, not totally. Look, bye, Chick. We'll see you back in Peebles.
Where's my shotgun? I'm gonna kill something.
That's about survive, Robert.
Ooh-wee, that's... Chick Fowle there, bringing us Christmas with all the trimmings from President Trump's new America. And we're looking forward to having Chick home in Peebles very soon.
The DHRC house band is looking forward to Chick's return home for Christmas. Baby, please come home.
Around. Baby, please come home. The church bells in town all singing a song. full of happy sound. Baby, please come home. They're singing at the hall. It's not like Christmas at all. I remember when you were here and all the fun we had last year. Well, out from the tree, I'm watching them shine. You should be here with me. Baby, please come home. They're singing Deck the Hall. It's not like Christmas at all. 'Cause I remember when you were here and all the fun we had last year. If there was a way, I'd hold back these tears. But it's Christmas Day. Please, 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 please. Baby, can't come home. Baby, please come home. Baby, please come home.
That's the time just coming up to 10 past 10. Well, you really get your money's worth with the DHRC, don't you? Only $12.50 a ticket and it all goes to a good cause. That's the DHRC, the show that just keeps on giving. That's our show for this evening, the 21st outing of the downright homespun radio company here at the Grand Old Eastgate in downtown Peebles.
On stage tonight were the wonderful and ever needy DHRC house band. Murray Charlton's over there on drums. Hitting things all evening on the percussion table, we got Francis Taylor. On the guitars tonight, we've got Alistair Ray and Dean Turnbull. With Jane Gregg on the fiddle. Robin Sattler on the keyboard. And over there we've got band manager Henry Taylor playing the bass and keeping it all together.
And what a lineup at the microphones this evening, ladies and gentlemen. Henry White, Patsy Gemmell, Fiona Wilson, and Kathy Kennedy. Singing, dancing, and strutting her stuff. Acting credentials tonight in Bobby Barr's office. And other places as well.
Our Royal Company of Radio Actors had the benefit of not one but two guest actors tonight. A big hand please for Sam Horbury and Scott Noble, creating a lot of drama on stage tonight. Thank you both.
And joining them was Lavelle Santamano, reprising his role from the show 7 long years ago. Now come of age, just like us. Come up and take a bow, Lavelle.
And of course not forgetting Douglas Robert over there, keeping everyone in line.
This evening you enjoyed the voice and costume talents of Sir Robert Barr of Manor. And always shorter than he looks on TV, Steve Lee. The The script for tonight's show was written, as always, by Douglas Roberts and Steve Lee, with additional material from the Peebles News, our favourite fish and chip rapper.
You know, it takes a big team to create a show like this. We got Scott Book as our transport manager. Anthony Newton's our stage manager and photographer. John Small lifted everything into place. Alec Taylor's our sound effects man at the back. A big hand for Richard Hogg, who engineered the audio and turned the lights on and off. And the Eastgate Theatre is our host once again for the 2017 Americana Christmas.
On stage now is the DHRC House Band to play us out. After 7 years, we're taking a break for the next year, and we'll be back with another show next Christmas, 2018. Until then, be well, do good work, keep in touch. The DHRC House Band with It's the Most Wonderful Time of the Year.
It's the most wonderful time of the year, with the kids jingle belling and everyone telling you to be of good cheer. It's the most wonderful time of the year. It's the happiest season of all, with those daily greetings and gay happy meetings when friends come to call. It's the happiest season of all. There'll be parties for hosting, marshmallows for toasting, and caroling out in the snow. There'll be scary ghost stories and tales of the glory of Christmases long, long ago. It's the most wonderful time of the year. There'll be much mistletoeing and hearts will be glowing when loved ones are near. It's the most wonderful time of the year.
Parties for hosting, marshmallows for toasting, and caroling out in the snow.
There'll be scary ghost stories and tales of the glories of Christmases long, long ago. It's the most wonderful time of the year. There'll be much mistletoeing and hearts will be glowing when loved ones are near. It's the most wonderful time of the year. It's the most wonderful time. It's the most wonderful time. It's the most wonderful time of the year.
Thank you. Good night.
I'm dreaming of a white Christmas, just like the ones I used to know, where the treetops glisten and children listen to hear sleigh bells in the snow. I'm dreaming of a white
Yes.
Ah, God, what on earth is going on here?
Oh, they want us to be part of a reprise at the tail end of a show.
Whatever for? Hey, we're not getting grouped together with all these musicians, are we?
It would seem that way.
To me, they all look like candidates for the annual DHRC Musicians in Need Appeal.
I agree there, Angus. I'll tell you what, why don't we just sneak out the back?
Good idea. I fancy getting back to Mrs. Tweedy's for her celebration party.
That's right. Come on, let's get off quick. But we better wish this lot a Merry Christmas.
Aye. Merry Christmas, everybody.
Oh. Okay, chopped up. Come on, let's go.
May your day